Good evening, everybody. That was my little spooky voice. I hope you all appreciated that. Welcome to the very first episode 8 of Gamers Assemble.
Oh my god, I didn't know you were going to do that.
You're welcome.
We need to practice more.
Yeah.
I love it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was there. I got the chills.
Got all the sensations and the ooh ahs.
Ooh.
Yeah, so welcome to episode 8. This is our spooky McSpooky Time. What is your favourite scary games episode? And joining me tonight is Batuist.
Hello.
The llama herself.
Llama.
Sephorius.
Hello.
And Tiggs Llama.
Boop, 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 boop. Or should I do something more scary? Come into my parlor. There you go. Fly, my
Show us your
pretties.
vampire teeth. That's what we
Yeah.
want to see. That's the content we're paying for. Look at that. He's gonna bite us.
For free. I'd bite you any day, llama. I mean, seriously. Look, I got a Ted onesie for being like all Halloweeny, and then double reveal. It's a me, Tigario.
Fucking Tigario.
I really need to take that hood down now because it's
Yeah.
fucking hot in this thing, guys. I mean, I'm sweating balls off.
I would love to
This
see.
is some high quality content.
Yeah, we're officially like 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the show. I would imagine by 12 minutes and 15 seconds, Tiggs is going to run off the screen to go and strip off into something less microwavy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how far we can go. It can be like, I think that's a challenge. So I'll see how long it can last.
Yeah,
Challenge accepted.
okay. I'll check back in with you in 10 minutes. See how it goes. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into the main topic. Been great. You guys have been really supporting us on Spotify and on YouTube. But if you could just do us a massive favour and hit that follow and subscribe and hit the notifications so you know that when we go live or we post stuff up, that'd be amazing. Because our analytics show that lots of people are watching us that haven't subscribed. And if you don't subscribe, then I'll have to put you into my spooky box.
My favorite box is very spooky.
As punishment. No,
That
it's
doesn't
been
sound
great.
delightful at all.
No.
You could be
Never.
like Abe. Follow us. Not Abe.
Follow us.
Follow us.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, he was so lovable.
So, as it is the day after Halloween, we are celebrating. I forgot the name of it now. What's it called?
The Day of the Dead.
Is
Say
it
it
Day of
Spanish,
the
Sep.
Dead? Yeah.
Dios de los muertos, motherfucker.
You just needed a big motherfucking gun there, and
Yeah.
that would have been awesome. You would have been
Dead.
rich.
Oh,
She's ruined it
bloody
for us.
England and no guns.
It's
Yeah.
also, for those of religious backgrounds, it's also All Souls Day.
Right.
There you go.
Oh.
So
Where
we're,
the souls come back and visit us.
we're a day out, but we've still got our spooky on, so don't worry. So this week's topic is going to be our favourite spooky games. What?
Sorry, I was just
What?
shaking my tatas.
Oh, right. It's like, what's going on there?
That skull's moving.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about our favourite spooky games. So let's kick things off with. I'm going to go with Batuist. Tell me about your favourite spooky games.
Boo twist. Like
Ooh, twist.
Oh, wow.
I'd have to say the scariest game I can remember, I was actually just looking it up this morning so I could remember a little bit more about it, was the game Fear, where it's like the acronym Fear, F-E-A-R. And it came out in October of 2005,
Wow.
Wow.
15 years ago. Yep. Officially old. It was scary as hell. Like, I made the mistake of playing it in a dark room with headphones on, and when the little girl comes out behind you in the hallway and you see little footsteps and she like jump scares you, my headphones went flying across the room.
So
And that was definitely, it was a fun game. I don't think I ever got past the first like couple levels of that game. The scares just got worse and worse.
yeah, so Fear was the one where it was like a first-person shooter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter where you're investigating this facility that is breeding like psychological, like psychic warriors and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're kind of going into this like facility, and the game plays a lot of tricks with you. It was one of the early games that had that reflex time thing where you can hit a button and everything slows down.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And in a scare game, slowing it down doesn't always help. And so yeah, there's a lot of those, like, you hear stuff from behind you. Like, I remember it was one of those games where if you had the headphones in, you could hear footsteps like kind of behind you in the whole stereo sound.
Mhm.
Oh,
And you turn around and you would just see like a hand closing a door. And I don't know, it was scary. For must have been Windows XP at that time. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
the best Windows. That was the best Windows, right?
That was I kept that one for ages.
Yeah.
I did love that
Yeah.
one, to be fair.
Once
Yeah,
they got
Vista
all the
was
bugs
shit.
worked out, it was XP was really good. Special mention, I guess, for other game would be the first time that I played BioShock. When you hear the scraping of the drill, and then you see, I mean, you've never played the game before. It's brand new. You just were crashed in an airplane. You wade to shore. You're inside the facility, and you just hear the scraping sound. And then just around the corner comes the Big Daddy, and
Oh,
you're just
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. Like that's what's gonna probably happen." And usually that's what happens because you didn't know how to deal with them at that point, so they just came up and rammed their drill right into you.
I love. I love that.
Really holding back here, just so you know.
It takes it's effort of will right now.
I love that your reaction of this big behemoth guy with this huge drill that's going to kill you coming around the corner is, I'm gonna die now. Like, very nonchalant, very blasé, like, death's coming, it's fine. Comes for all of us.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, at that scene, it charges at you once it comes around the corner, and
Yeah.
you really have a oh shit moment, and you're just hitting all your buttons, and then usually, if I remember, I think when it killed you, there was a cutscene too, so it looked really gruesome. But I don't know, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Good game, BioShock.
Yeah. So, see, my first reaction
Those are
when
my
I saw
two scary ones that I can think of.
when I saw Big Daddy coming around the corner was, fuck, run!
You know,
Get away, get away,
a
get
really
away!
good Old game mentioned is the old Metal Gear Solid game where they would make you think that your game system was messed up.
Oh, yeah.
that was
Yeah,
really
and you
good.
have to like plug your controller into the player 2 port for it to work properly.
Yeah.
Was that
Or-
Psycho Mantis?
That was Psycho
That-
Mantis'
Psycho
fight,
Mantis.
yeah. And
Yeah.
when it started off, it would be like, I can see that you play these games, and I'm going to move the controller with my mind. That was really cool. I liked Psycho Mantis.
How many years
I
ago
didn't
was
know
that? Yeah. how
Well,
many
Psycho
years ago
Mantis
that?
was like, what, 1990... Well, yeah, okay, Solid was 1996, I believe. Hang on a second.
The one I played, I think,
Doing
was
the
PlayStation
Google.
2. I think.
No,
I'm-
he's not. He's got it.
I've got it here. I'm just going to see what year it was trademarked. So it's 1999 trademark, so I'm guessing it came out in 1999.
21 years later, we're still talking about that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, good guy. Good job, devs.
Yeah.
What is that for PlayStation 1?
Yeah, it's the original Metal Gear Solid. Even with on the back, so there's a little picture with Meryl, and you needed to use the codec to get in touch with Meryl. Kojima.
Snake!
That whole thing was super innovative for that time period. I mean, that was cutting edge. You could bring your friends over and show them that scene, and they would just freak out.
Yeah, that Metal Gear Solid 1, for me, as I've said before, is the game that made me realise that games could be more than just platformers or fun, light-hearted things. It was the thing that showed me that there could be a real narrative and a real story in it. And it was those third wall breaking moments when it was like, hey, if you want to get in touch with Meryl, like, turn over the cassette case and you'll see the number on the back. Like, I'm pretty sure it's written there. It was just genius. Kojima is an absolute fucking legend. I love him.
Yep.
Tiggs!
It's me, Tigario.
Tell me. Come closer, child, and tell me about your spooky, spooky games.
Oh, I'm getting real close. Right,
Oh
okay.
god.
That was quite creepy, actually.
That
I
was
creeped
quite
myself out
creepy.
there. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop. Love our chats. So I think... so scary games have come on like quite a lot, and I'm quite a wimp, as you guys know. Maybe our viewers might not know this. But yes, I'm a massive wimp. So, for instance, like Resident Evil 7... the person I lived with at the time got the game. I was like, I love Resident Evil, but this is in first person and it's too scary what I've seen so far. So I guided them the whole way through the game with a pillow like this. They'd never played Resident Evil before, so I was like, go get the herb, go get the herb, get the fucking herb. He's behind you. So, and with occasional, like and all that sort of stuff. So I am a total wimp. So I have to go further back into the gaming catalog to pull mine out. And Silent Hill 3, that was an absolutely fantastic game. It was so good. I loved it. It followed on from the first one and started the storyline so well. And it was like you really just sort of felt for Heather. She was called Heather. I think she was called Heather. You really felt for her, and it was just gotten like poor Harry. And it was so they really played with your head in that as well, because you get so far through the game, and spoiler alerts, you might want to stop listening for the next 30 seconds if you're planning to play it. They just stop and she's having this conversation, I think, like with a priest or something, and she goes, "You're just like them," and he's like, "I only kill monsters," and he's like, is that what you see?" And I was like, oh, that's actually just really. Like, it just messes with your head. I was like, fuck. I never thought about that.
The early Silent Hill games were very clever at, like, twisting each individual character's own personal psychological torment into a physical manifestation and, like, seeding that into the world. That was really good.
It was just fantastic. And it was real. Like, there were a few jumping moments. I mean, I did scream. My brothers are quite good at watching horror films, but they can't play horror games, and they sometimes say to me, "I don't know how you played Silent Hill in your bedroom with the lights off." And I was like, the lights weren't off for very long, maybe about half an hour, and then everybody was in bed, so I was like, there were a few jumpy parts, but it was more the psychological horror end of it, wasn't it, and making you feel like you were actually like totally messed up. And it was just, it was so good. I loved the Silent Hill series, like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, I want to make a point on what you said. You were talking about your brothers that like to watch horror movies, but they don't like horror games.
Yeah.
See, I love horror movies, but for some reason, horror games, being a part of it is so much scarier than watching the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
1000%.
Like, I can't handle the game part of it, but the movies are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't handle either these days. I mean, I'm a total wimp. So, there's lots of pillow action whenever I'm watching anything that's even remotely jumpy. You scream. I mean, the cats shit themselves. They're on my knee 1 minute. I jump, and then the next thing is they're gone.
Yep. I'm exactly the same. Horror films, I can watch them with no issue, no scares, no jumps, no nothing. Like, it doesn't really bother me. Playing a horror game, I constantly shit myself, like, and just shout and scream and get really like et up about it, because it's just something about that, more of a connection between you as a player and this character on the screen that just fucking gets me every single time. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Especially if you're in first person.
I can't do the first person horror at all. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
I'm delicate. And did you know, fun facts about Silent Hill, it's based on a real place in Pennsylvania.
Is it Centralville, isn't it?
Beardy. Google.
It was
Steven!
based off of a coal mine I found in that area.
And it was in it. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong. Beardy's researching now. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it went on fire in the 1970s, and it's still burning now. And there's
Underground.
and because it caves in, there's about half a dozen people that keep living in the town still to keep people out.
Yep.
Because
So
it's dangerous.
a place in West Virginia called
West Virginia.
Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Centralia. That's it.
Centralia. There you go.
There we go. Can we do a field trip?
No.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
and we can go see the Mothman Museum.
The Mothman Museum, is that scary? Is it something I won't have seen?
He's got a really nice butt.
Okay, I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've-
I'm there.
That's
I
it.
sold.
I know how to sell it to things.
Yeah, and whenever you read up about the real life town that Silent Hill is based on, I love the fact he took that and then twisted it and built the story around the actual place. Oh my god, it's just so class. I love it so much. And then whenever you read up about that, whenever I read up about that years ago, I found out about these other places. There's a place in the Middle East somewhere where it was gas, and it's in the middle of the desert, and it got set
Oh, in
alight.
Turkey.
Is that where it is in Turkey? And it got set alight, and it's constantly burning, and they call it the gateway to hell.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all these other places, and it's oh my god, it's so spooky. It's so cool that these places exist in real life. So yeah. It's
Oh god, yeah. Go down a YouTube rabbit hole for
Yeah.
creepy unsolved
Pasta.
shit. Oh, creepy pasta. Oh my god. I love it. Helps me fall asleep bizarrely. I don't know if that makes me so
There
but,
is.
there's so
my other honorable mentions would have to be Resident Evil 0. Loved Rebecca.
Yeah.
Rebecca Chambers. She was so perky and so full of life. And then Resident Evil 0 happened.
Yeah.
Billy was quite cool as well, but it was just Rebecca for me all the way. I just loved her. I thought she was brilliant.
Fun fact: Resident Evil 0 was supposed to originally release on the N64.
Really?
Wow.
Mhm. The original build was on N64, but it was just too big and too difficult for them to code and get it to work because they still wanted to do the character swapping and everything else.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So if you look on YouTube, there's some original footage. So it's on the N64 and it's in PlayStation 2 style graphics from Resident Evil 1 and 2.
That's really, really cool. That's a good fact. And yeah, the fact finger as well. I love the fact finger. Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, Rebecca was awesome. And also the GameCube did amazing water effects.
Oh.
I don't know if you've noticed this in GameCube games, but the water effects in those games, on that, I was oh my god, they do it so much better than the other consoles that are more powerful, and yet they can just do it. It looks really real. It's I want to go and wash in that shit, bitch.
If you think about it, Nintendo was some of the first games I always remember being able to interact with the water at all. Most PlayStation games, like Grand Theft Auto, if you went near the water, you were dead.
Ah.
And a lot of games were like that. I don't know. I remember N64 with Mario and Mario 64 being able to swim around the water and everything
I have
like
lost
that. being
my
able to go
audio
underwater.
to you guys. I'm really sorry I can't hear you.
We can go
Oh,
rogue. He can't tell us no.
I can hear you
God
now.
damn it.
I can hear you now.
Shit.
I ran
We
out
missed
of
your opportunity.
battery on my wireless headphones.
Oh.
Rookie mistake. Moink Reformed has just put a lovely little smiley face in our group chat thing on
Yes,
Twitch.
that's awesome. I love it. I love it. How do you do that?
Skill.
skill.
Unremitting skill.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Do a unicorn one.
That is interesting and disturbing at the same time.
I mean,
It's perfect.
At least
for a
there's no boogers up
spooky
that nose.
episode.
spooky. I love it. I think it's class. Yeah. So Resi and Resi 6. No, not Resi 6. Resi 5.
I was going to say Resi 6 is
I give up on that one. I stopped playing. Resi 5, but I do have like a bit of a thing to admit in this. It was mainly Chris Redfield because I've got a massive crush on him and I always have done. So I got the game and it was Chris back in there and it's the first time in ages and he looked mighty fine. And I was like, oh, Chris. I don't even remember what happened in that game. I just... Yeah.
It was all just a blur.
It was just a very wonderful, amazing time in my life, and I really cherish it.
Chris is probably like the strangest Resident Evil character in terms of how much they've like changed his appearance from like the original Resident Evil to then Resident Evil 5. Like, it was like a complete 360, like different hair color, different build, like big old muscly arms, punching fucking boulders like some madman. And then between 5 and 6 he changed a little bit, and then between 6 and 7 again he's a completely new character model. Like, makes
He's
me
fine
sad.
though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when they replace people on daytime soaps and everyone just pretends they don't notice that it's a completely different character, and you're like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
It's Dot. No, it's not.
She's
That's
been
how I feel about,
replaced.
that's how I feel about Link from like all of the Zelda games, because it's like every single Link just looks different than all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Do you know why that is?
Oh, it's time for a Tiggs fact.
Yeah.
Finger. Let me see the finger.
Tell me why.
I mean, I really need fact checked. I wouldn't take any of my facts as real.
He's making this up.
But no, so the links that there are, it's not the same person. Link is like sort of like this power that gets passed down through generations. So there's a few games where it's like direct follow-ups from other games, like, you know, it was the same Link in Majora's Mask as it was in Ocarina of Time, but it's very rare. It's usually like a different Link. Like if you remember Wind Waker, they said, oh, like Link was a really legendary hero, blah, 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 blah. We'll give you the clothes of the hero. So it's like an ideology almost. And then there's a special person that's born in to each timeline whenever he's needed. And he
Like
is Link.
Zelda and like Ganondorf kind of reincarnate, it seems, each time too, and they're like, or something similar to Zelda and Ganondorf reincarnate each time too.
Yeah. I love Zelda. She's brilliant. She was so fierce in that last game.
But was she scary?
No, so we'll just move on. Next.
I want to see a Zelda scary movie.
Okay, moving the spooks onto another spooky person. Llama. What makes you go crazy when playing the spooky game?
Wow. So, yeah. I think the first game that really got me in terms of fear was PlayStation 2. My dog's going nuts outside. Was on the PlayStation 2. It was Silent Hill 2, I think. And that was probably... So PlayStation 2 was probably the first console that I had sort of as a grown-up. I'd got out of boot camp. I was stationed somewhere, so I had like my own money and my own time, and I had a PlayStation 2. And Silent Hill scared the shit out of me because you'd be walking through the fog, you could barely see what was coming, your little radio would start to crackle, and I swear to shit, if I hear a radio crackling now, my heart rate still goes up. Like, it just had such an impact on me.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely terrified me. Yeah. And then you're like, shit, I got 3 bullets. Like, I'm terrified. Like, I don't want to go walking around because I've only got 3 bullets. And, like, that's not enough to do anything because I'm a terrible shot. And it was so... I mean, it was grotesque and the story was largely psychological and it was... But it was that fear of what might happen, I think, really got me in that game. It was just like the levels of uncomfortableness that just kept layering on top of each other. The constant fear of the resource management, of the radio crackling, seeing shit in the distance, and then those sirens would sound and the world would change. Like, it was too much. And I remember a friend and I we were house sharing, and he bought this giant, like 60-inch plasma TV, and plasma was super cool. And we had surround sound speakers, and we were sat on the sofa one night. He was at work, and I'm playing this game, and I heard something whisper behind me while I'm playing it, and I had to turn it off, turn on all the lights, and get my dog out and be like, "You'll tell me if something's coming, right?" Like, the game scared the shit out of me, but I loved it. That was probably the first real horror game that scared me, and I've played a lot since then.
Yeah.
But I think recently, my favorite one has got to be BioShock, and I know Bot and I are always on the same page when it comes to games. He's like my gamer twin. But BioShock was just, I think for me, it was the fact that on the surface, that's a BioShock joke. On the surface, it seems like a good premise, like people go form their own utopia society, no gods or kings, only men. Like, we'll pretend we're not, getting rid of women, trans and non-binary people here. But I liked the premise of just, it's us, humanity standing on its own 2 feet and not beholden to any power or other people. We're just trying on our own to be amazing. And I love that idea. And then as you go through this dystopia that it's turned into, and you hear all the holotapes or the audio tapes of how it went so terribly wrong, and then realize your role in how it went so wrong. And then the little sisters, do you save them? Do you kill them while they're screaming "Daddy, no" at you? Like, it's just terrifying and uncomfortable and darkly moralistic choices. That game really was disturbing. The first time you play it, it is so disturbing. And I don't know if BioShock 2 was as scary. Maybe because you sort of knew what was coming, or you knew the story. I think the part that made BioShock 1 kind of terrifying was that you didn't know what was happening. You didn't understand who the fuck the splicers were. Oh my God, when they first jump out at you, Jesus, I think I weed myself a little bit. So that game was really good. There's a whole long list of scary games that I haven't finished. And they seem to be more recent. And I don't know. I think it's a combination of factors. I'm getting older and less able to control my Wii. The games.
Oh my God, I love you.
The games, I swear to shit, the games are getting scarier.
I agree.
I've tried 2 games recently. I tried Evil Within. I spent maybe an hour trying to get out of that locker in the beginning, and every time I would get like 3 steps out, I'd run back in, and I was sweating. Y'all, I had problems. It was too much. I turned it off. I didn't finish the game. I uninstalled it. It was on Game Pass, so it was fine. And Resident Evil 27 or whatever it's on now, the Bio one,
Resident Evil 7, yeah.
7.
I had to turn that one
scary
off.
Shit, isn't it? It's really scary. He blasts through the wall, and you're like, ah!
That goddamn woman kept jumping out at me. I'm like, I don't care. My wife off. You're scary. I don't like you. And then I got to the point where the cannibal hillbilly guy is chasing me around the house, and I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. So I was just in the lounge running around the coffee table endlessly. And I didn't know what to do, and I was getting sweaty, like the controller was slipping out of my hand. I'm like sweating, and I was like, I'm turning it off, and I uninstalled that one too. So
you should try it.
I haven't played scary games.
You should try it in VR.
Recently.
No.
I would actually have a heart attack.
I think I would as well. Beardy, we'll do it live on the channel. Whenever lockdown's over, I'll come to yours and do it in VR, and we'll do it live, and you can film it.
You will not survive.
You can
No,
film it, Beardy.
Yeah. Film
You
it.
can film it. Film it, yeah.
Sif,
So
what
yeah,
about
those are my scary games.
what about you then, Sif? What are your spookies?
Spooky. Bloodborne. That's like, I'm pretty biased when it comes to From Software games. I love them all. They're all great. And Bloodborne went more of the horror route with like Lovecraftian inspiration and just weirdness in the whole game. And then there's this like mechanic where it's called insight, where the more insight you have, the more you can see what's actually around you. And
Oh, like a fog of war sort of thing.
yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, like for example, if you have like a certain amount of insight in the church, in the ward, you can see there's like a giant monster just entangled around the building. But you can't see it if you don't have the insight. But if you do have the insight, you can see the monster, and
Oh, that's cool.
it's disgusting. Some of the monster designs,
Oh.
and I fucking love it. The world it built as well, like the developers did a really good job to grab the inspiration from Lovecraft. A lot of like Cthulhu based enemies, celestial enemies, and then just really ugly ass monsters that don't even know what they are.
I think the idea of wandering around a video game world and not being able to see unless you have enough of the insight,
Yeah.
like knowing that you don't have a lot of insight, so there might be some shit just above you but you can't see it. That's actually more terrifying, I think, than being able to see it.
And they're just watching you too, which is
Oh.
like very creepy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, when you reach like certain areas too, when some of the enemies do attack you though. If you have a lot of insight, some new enemies appear out of it,
Okay.
and it's like, I don't know. There's like this wagon monster in one of them. Like it just pops out of it, and it's like a crab thing, kind of. It uses like the
Ooh.
wagon part as like as a shell,
Mm-hmm.
in other words. But I don't know. That's I don't really get too scared from Bloodborne, but I love that it includes a lot of like horror mechanics into it, even though technically the game is more of a RPG, an action RPG than a horror game. But I love like the story elements, the lore that you learn throughout the whole game,
Yeah.
which some of it's fucked up, but yeah.
We like a bit of fucked up here.
It sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's a hard game, but if you do it in co-op, it's so much easier to do.
Is it like Dark Souls hard? Because I ain't never gonna play it if it is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
It
no,
is dark.
no.
It is dark.
We need a
Souls.
Sherpa.
Yeah.
We need a 4-year-old child level of being able to play those games, and then I'll play them.
That's what they're debating about. That company trying to make it with the other game that they released, Sekiro. I'm going on a tangent, but
That's fine.
it's
Carry on.
people complained about not having a difficulty level in their games because they want it to be more accessible for
Yeah.
other people, and they might do it for the new one that's coming out, but
It's one of
I
those
don't know
things
if they will.
with Soulsborne games, like I really enjoy the world that they create in them, and I enjoy the characters and the like mechanics and all the rest of it, but the gameplay is so punishing, like it just switches me off straight away, and I'm just like, I don't have the patience for this. Like I don't have the patience or the skill set like to get this right. So if they could put something in there where I could like chuck it down to story mode, I'd be very happy with that. Like,
Yeah.
but
Same.
it's like Demon Souls. Demon Souls looks fucking incredible, and I really, really want to play it. But I know I'm gonna spend £70 on this game and be playing it for 10 minutes and put it down and never touch it again because I just can't,
download the demo,
I can't
Beardy.
do it.
Download the demo.
Like,
Drop that.
yeah, true.
yeah, it is frustrating. But if you do it in co-op, it's easier in co-op. Trust me, it's so much easier because you have someone else to take the heat, if anything. And they technically, that's what they try to do. Take the other player takes the heat while you try to do damage here and there. But don't know. That's one of my games that I really enjoy, just for the world
Yeah.
itself. Not really scary for me, but it's for the world. Another game is Fatal Frame. I love it.
Just as
That's
a
like one
very
of the
quick
first horror
interjection here, sorry. Llama's internet's dropped out, so she's just not.
Okay.
She's not looking like she's unimpressed for no apparent reason. She's just frozen, and
Disconnected.
now we've just disconnected her. So she will be back shortly.
Okay.
So,
So-
Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame. That's like one of the first horror games I played when I was younger. I enjoyed it just because you're like seeing everything through like the camera to find the ghost.
Oh,
a-
I remember that game.
Yeah, that game
What
is really
system
fun.
was it on?
PS1.
Do you remember that? It was scary as fuck.
And I want them to remake it so bad. That would be amazing. There's a recent game that came out called Dread Out, which is inspired by Fatal Frame.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same concept, except I think the enemies are a little bit more aggressive, maybe, or less aggressive. I don't remember what I found out about it, but I
Yeah.
recently bought it just to try it out. But that game gave me the creeps whenever I would play it.
Yeah.
At one point, I just used the camera, and there was a fucking ghost already right there, like right in front of me.
Oh,
So it's just like, that's the worst. But I love it.
Because
Uh,
there's
Even
no
if it's scary for me, I love it.
there's no like weapons or anything, is there? It's like the camera. You have to take a picture of the ghost to be able to like
Book 'em.
get rid of it or
They're very
something.
shy.
Yeah.
They're very shy. Yeah. And I don't know. I just love that. I really want them to remake it. Will they ever? I don't know. Hopefully.
Let's hope.
Yeah. And my other game is Dead by Daylight, which a lot of people tend to play, and the idea is pretty scary, but everything I don't know, just the different characters. Like there's Michael Myers, there's whatchamacallit, Leatherface, Freddy, like all these iconic Ghostface, and then some original characters.
Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head,
Yeah.
yes. And then you can play with friends too, which makes it a lot of fun as well. Honestly, the first time you play Dead by Daylight, it's really spooky,
Yeah.
for sure, especially if you're not too used to horror games.
Yeah.
You'll be
I played it a little
ahead.
bit with some friends. With oh my god, I forgot his name. Feats. L Feats, one of my friends on Twitter. And on Twitch we played that, and he got me to play it with all his friends in the States. And I was probably the most annoying third wheel in their group, because it's literally like, and what do I do now? And where do I go now? Oh, it's gonna get me! Come save me! Save me! Save me! Save me! Save me! And I just die, and then like I'd end up on a hook, and I'd be like, sorry guys, like can somebody just come and like, help me out here? Like just constantly just do that. But it is a good game. It's getting crossplay soon though, isn't it?
It already did.
So it's already on cross platforms. So like, so did that's cool.
All of them, as far as I know, except for the mobile version.
Yeah.
The mobile version is just a completely different game.
Yeah.
It's separate from that.
Right. Cool.
But
Yeah, I have it on PC and on PS4. I might jump into it again now that it's like crossplay.
yeah, the wait times are way better,
Mm.
and I'm glad, because that was my main complaint about the game, that the wait times would take ages. I remember last year it would take maybe like 30 to 40 minutes just to find
Wow.
one match.
What?
Just one match. Yeah, that's how bad it used to be, the matchmaking, just to
Yeah.
find one match. And then
Oh.
if the killer disconnects in the lobby,
Like
You have
boots
to find a
everybody.
new match.
Yeah. Boots everybody out.
but they fixed that
Oh.
too, where if the killer disconnects during that lobby, you just get a new killer. Someone else joins that lobby, so you don't have
What
to
everybody
restart
wants in
anything.
life, a new killer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I know
maybe we
why
should
you're
play it.
all big into wait times. Because whenever we're playing games, you're like, oh, the wait time's really good. I'm not surprised if you had to wait 40 fucking minutes for a match. I never knew
Yeah.
that. I was like, oh, ew, 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 ew.
That's why I took a break from Dead by Daylight. I was just like, they need to fix this,
Yeah.
and then I'll come back to it, and they did, which is good. It's much better now
Yeah.
compared.
Yes, well done,
That's
guys. Well done.
Go team.
It only took them 3 years. But that's
it's
3 is the magic number.
but it's developed by quite a small team though, isn't it?
it is a small team. It isn't like a. I would say it's like small medium, maybe ish.
Yeah. So
I know
it's
they have a lot of job openings that they post.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, behavior interactive.
Yes.
And apparently, according to Google, they have roughly 600 employees. That's actually quite a lot. I
Yeah,
thought it
that's-
was.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought it was like a much smaller team. I thought it was only like 200 or something.
Oh no, I think they used to be small, but then they
They've
started
ramped up. Oh, right, okay,
going
cool.
up. Yeah.
Wow. Suppose I shall talk about my spooky spookies.
A bow.
A boot. A boot. First up, I don't know if anyone's played this, and if you haven't played it, you need to go and buy it because it's always on sale on every single fucking platform in every single shop store. It's Alien Isolation.
Oh, you love this game so
I
much.
fucking love to hate this game. Like, it scares the shit out of me. I still haven't completed it. I bought it when it came out in fucking whatever year that was. Let me just check. Hang on.
I heard that alien is really annoying in that game. That's what I heard. That it's really
Yeah.
persistent.
So it came out in 2014. So in 6 years, I've still not managed to do one full playthrough. Like, it spooks me because they got the AI for the aliens so right, and the whole atmosphere of everything. There's no clip documentaries. I don't know if you guys watch them or anything like that. They've recently just posted up a developer interview with the guys that made it, which I can't remember the name of that now either. Creative Assembly. So the guys that are like really famous for making Total War games made this amazing spooky like first person survival horror game. The Alien and the way that the game works is that it has like 3 tiers of AI. So it has like the alien's AI, which is like if it sees you, it attacks you and everything else and all the rest of it. It then has a secondary AI that kind of like has like control of its higher functions, so like where it's going to go and its behavior and all that kind of stuff, like the routes it's going to take, whether it's going to go into vents or whether it's going to go into the ceiling or whatever it is it's going to do. And then there's a third AI, which is like a game master, and basically every so often, periodically, to keep the tension of the game up, the master AI looks at where you are as a player, and it kind of goes, okay, you've not had like a scare in about 10 minutes, so I'm going to feed some information to the alien to give it a rough idea of where you are, so that it can kind of like hunt you down a little bit easier. It's terrifying. Not only that, but if you have a PlayStation camera attached and enable the camera, the microphone listens to you in the room. So if I'm there like fucking go away, whatever, like scaring myself, it feeds in that audio into the game and correlates that with your position into the game. So kind of like as if you were actually in the game making that noise, it'll let the alien know that there's a noise coming from that direction. So again, it will then try and like fucking hunt you down based on that. It is the best alien game I've ever played in my life, and it's fucking scary.
That's awesome.
Like, It's so good, and it is a crime against video games that they still haven't got a green light to make a second one. Like, it's so good. You should definitely play it.
You can get it on Steam.
Yeah, it's on PC, Xbox. I think it's on Game Pass. Actually,
Game Pass?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's always on something.
It's always on sale, like for
Yeah.
$5 or something.
And it's literally on sale. Llama, if you're listening from the other side, it's always on sale. You don't need to lie. Should just put in the chat, lol, on sale.
Yeah, lol, on sale.
Definitely worth it. But I don't know if Llama or Tiggs will be able to make it through a playthrough, because it is pretty scary. My second choice is the Resident Evil 2 remake. I've sang its praises before. It's such a good remake. It's such a good reimagining of the game. And the fucking Mr. X, just, I can't deal with him. Like, his big old stomping footsteps around the fucking building, like hunting you down. He's invincible, you can't kill him, you can shoot him and stuff and maybe stun him to give you some time to get away, but there's no way of actually taking him down till the very end of the game. And he's just terrifying as this hulking 8-foot behemoth of a guy. The only thing that made him a little less scary was all those mods that they put out where he was in like a fucking Speedos or something. And everyone from being like terrified of him to like having a bit of a fucking hard on for him. I didn't see the attraction.
I'm gonna Google this.
I was still very, very scared of him. And then to wrap up my spookies is a little game called Dead Space. I don't know if anyone's played it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know what it
Yes.
is.
Such a good game. By the Visceral Games. Rest in peace, Visceral Games. Shut down by the evil corporation of EA. And it was...
I just saw Mr. X. Oh my god, you guys really need to Google this shit. I mean, seriously. Look, can you see? He's got like the umbrella thing on his speedos at the front.
it's pure video game gold. So Dead Space is set in like this futuristic part of the universe where we go out and we crack planets for resources and stuff, and this particular planet crack has gone dark and you've been sent out to try and fix it, and then it gets into this weird and wonderful stuff to do with a cult and a marker and some sort of energy source, and basically it turns all the people that have died or infected by this marker into thing-esque monsters. So they get like scythe for arms and like just turn into these weird creature things that you have to chop off their limbs to be able to kill. And back when it came out, it made it more scary and harder because you're conditioned for like zombies and monsters and stuff to shoot it in the head. Like, whereas in this game, you don't shoot it in the head, you need to take limbs off to be able to survive. So it was a real learning curve to kind of get around that and reprogram your brain on how to take these enemies down. And of course, with everything that EA touches, the second and third ones were progressively worse in terms of like story and everything else. But, you know, maybe one day we'll get a Dead Space 4 and it's actually good.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, let's hope. Apparently the multiplayer in 3 was pretty good as well. I don't know, I never played it.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You get two perspectives in that game.
Yeah. Did you play as creatures in it then, or was it still like humans?
Humans. It was two humans.
Right.
And you would get different perspectives, so you would have different events for each person. Sometimes you'll be separated, sometimes you'll be together.
Oh, right, okay.
So
I used to really like not like Dead by Daylight, Dying Light, the multiplayer in that.
okay.
So
Yeah.
Dying Light was like the zombie thing with the parkouring, and it was all first person. And then they had this like nightmare mode, so somebody could join your game as like one of the like nastiest monsters in the nighttime, and it was like cat and mouse kind of thing. That was always much like a lot of fun. I like to grief people in that. So that brings us to the end of our little list of our spookies that we like to get spooked by. So Abu. Abu. So to wrap things up, Llama, if you can hear me from the other side, step away from the light and in the chat. Can you just tell us what you've been playing, and I'll read it out for you. Well, in the meantime, while Llama is communing from the other side using her Ouija board, I want to know, Tiggs, what have you been playing?
Well, you seem to recommend the best games that I've played this year, so, thanks.
Yeah,
Every time Beardy's in there going, oh, I think you should play this. And I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if I like that 10 minutes into game. Oh my god, I fucking love this! So, I've been playing quite a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn. So, Aloy, can we just take a second to talk about Aloy? She is the most coolest, badass game character that I've come across. She is so witty, she's so on people, and she's just dead like sweaty. She grapes people all the time. It's just like, oh my fucking god, I love you. She's brilliant.
I love that character so much, and her quick-witted like ability just to shut people down and like just fucking read them. It's so much fun.
Honestly, I am sat there and I have a cat in my lap usually whenever I'm gaming, but the game has provided so much like proper laugh out loud moments just from her responses to people. And I'm like, holy shit, she didn't just say that, did she? And I just bust, and then the cat runs out the door because they're like, that was supposed to be my nap time, bitch. I'm sorry, it's just very good writing in this game, guys. It's got me.
How far into it have you got?
Well, I've sort of went into side quest central, and I've spent hours doing all the side quests in like the first area. So I've literally just gone into like the second area now, where I'm going to Melandrin or somewhere. I've done the second cauldron. Meridian, that one.
Okay, so you're not that far in then.
No, I did all the side quests though, and I got all like. I didn't realize until I got to just the part before you go into that area that you could buy maps to locate everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, Daddy's going hunting. So, it's good. I've done my second cauldron. They're well fucking hard, them
cauldrons
things. I mean,
are hard.
seriously. Oh, are they the hardest thing in the game?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, that's when it makes sense. I died a lot.
Yeah,
my
you
first
will
one.
do.
Oh, you will do?
Wait until you get further on as the cauldrons get like harder and harder. Like, there's one particular cauldron that it took me several attempts to even get in the fucking door, like, to the cauldron because of what was waiting outside. I'm not going to give you any more information.
No spoilers, I don't like spoilers, but that's just put me on edge. That game does really put you on edge. The mechanics in the game are brilliant. You can fucking whistle them to come at you, and like you can either override them or like and kill. Oh my god, it's just so clever. The game's so fucking clever at what you can do. You can really play it any way you want.
Yeah.
But it is scary if you've missed one of them. And the next thing is you just hear go, oh, and then you're like, where the fuck? Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? And like I stand up from my seat looking for it, and I'm like, run, like, run, Aloy, run! You're too pretty to die. So I've been playing a lot of that, and been playing a bit of Among Us as well.
Oh right, okay.
So yeah, a little bit of that on and off. I've been playing. I tried it out my iPad. It's actually quite good. The mobile version is actually quite good as well, as the PC version. So it's a lot of fun. So just every now and then, it's quite good crack.
Sweet. We have a response through the Ouija board for Llama. So Llama has been playing Destiny, Fallout 76. Of course she's been playing Fallout fucking 76. It's all she fucking plays.
I thought you were done with that game, Llama. What happened?
Every week she's like, oh, I'm done with it. They nerfed this. I can't grief anymore. And then every week she's still doing it. Like, she made a polling station at the White Springs train station for the election. That sounds quite fun.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And she's also trying to max out her Destiny Light ready for the new expansion when she hits.
She's addicted.
And that comes out, what is it, 10th of November, I think?
I think it coincides with the Xbox Series X launch.
Yeah. So I'd probably jump back in when that happens, because I do like a bit of Destiny. But what have you been playing as well?
Um, been working on D&D stuff a little bit. Working on a homebrew world that I'm hopefully going to take some of our team here through once I get it all figured out. I think so far Llama, Sif, and Tiggs want to play. And
Yeah.
you're welcome if you want to. So I'm gonna keep working on that and work with them, and hopefully our viewers will get to see them and sex all the pretty boys and ladies in the D&D campaign.
That was not me and Llama that said that. That was not me and Llama that said that. Oh, Llama's just put in the chat all of the sexting.
Other than that, I've still been playing Genshin Impact. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty. It's relaxing. You can't do a ton in one day just because of the way that the stamina, or how they put it, the resin system works, where you can only really fight the bosses so much. And so it's a nice game to kind of check in, play for like a half hour, 45 minutes or so, and then kind of move on to something else, and then you can kind of check back the next day. But
Cool.
I've been enjoying that. I got one of the new characters, Klee, which is this little girl who throws bombs, and it has made the game so much more fun. From anyone who's played League of Legends and has ever played the character Ziggs in League of Legends, she's very, very similar to Ziggs, where throwing big bombs and such. And, definitely made the game a lot more fun for me. But other than that, that's pretty much it at the moment. It takes up a lot of time.
Sweet.
I'll have to try the Alien Isolation game, though. That's kind of...
I have to. It's so good.
It kind of caught my eye when you were talking about it, so I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, it's such a good game. And if you manage to complete it, then I shall tip my hat to you as a better man than I. Sif, what you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've been playing that game. I'm trying to just progress through the story, trying to complete it before the end of this month, hopefully.
Oh.
Okay. Do the top 10 games of the year. Usually,
Okay.
I've been doing it since 2012, and I have a feeling this one's going to be up there because so far I've been enjoying it. So pretty. I love doing the photo mode in that game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've been enjoying it. I started it like 2 days ago again, just so I can remember what happened.
Yeah.
Because I stopped playing it on launch and then got distracted with another game and then just recently came back to it.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Octopath Traveler. I've been playing that on stream usually. Such a beautiful old school RPG game.
Okay. Cool.
If you like the old Final Fantasy games, kind of like that vibe, kind of like turn-based. It's turn-based combat. The stories are emotional. Let's just say that. It's so good so far. What I've played. Probably gonna try and finish that on stream. And I've been playing World of Horror. I discovered this game like during the Halloween sale on Steam.
Okay, what's that?
It's like so it's like an old school like text-based kind of adventure like RPG. It's inspired by the world of Junji Ito, the guy who made Uzumaki, the manga.
Okay, cool.
So I think it's also Lovecraft inspired as well.
Yeah.
It's a roguelite as well.
Okay.
A roguelike, like it's very old school. The mechanics are kind of text-based, choice-based. Like your choices matter. You fight like these weird creatures. It's random events. I think they also have like an editor that you can edit the script yourself as well, which is
That's cool.
Interesting if you wanted to make like, I don't know, a stream of some sort.
Yeah.
To
Sif, I'm really sorry, but your camera's froze.
Oh, is it frozen?
Yeah.
It's
Not on my end.
absolutely brilliant because
Yeah.
you're like, it's like you're talking, but your lips aren't moving. You're just
Yeah.
smiling. I love it. It's amazing.
It's not frozen on my end.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, you get
It's
to see me
okay.
smile.
We're getting all the technicals today. We've had
Yes, we are.
Llama's internet's dropped out. She's frozen. Maybe we're in like some sort of live action version of Among Us, and like maybe Inara's like running around and just doing us all off one by one and just cutting our internets like.
That's probably what's happening. God damn you, Nora.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing for
Cool.
the most part.
Well, for me, there's no surprises here really. Pokemon's new DLC came out.
Oh God, here we go.
We've been-
Oh yes.
I've been playing in the Crown Tundra. Yeah, so I've been playing that. I've got myself my Calyrex, and it's accompanying other thing. I don't really want to say because it might spoil it for some people. But I've done the Calyrex mission so far. I need to do the missions with the new Regis. But I found out something very interesting, which is in the max raid den battles, apparently the shiny rates have gone down with a shiny charm to 1 in 100. And you fight 4 Pokemons in a row, which means my shiny chance is 1 in 25. So when I get to the end of that run, I've got a 1 in 25 chance of getting a shiny. So it's been really good for people who want to do shiny hunting for legendaries. So that's what I've been doing. There's a little stream the other night with it. Did not have any luck, unfortunately, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll get a shiny one of these days. I also jumped back into Watch Dogs. Not Legion, that's just come out, but the actual original one from a few years ago. Again, it's a game that I picked up in like a second-hand shop for like £5 like years ago. Had a big old hoo-ha about it. It came out with this trailer and it was super pretty and next gen and all the rest of it, and everyone was blown away how good it looked. And then when it came out, it didn't look anything like the visual trailer that they did, and Ubisoft got into a lot of hot water for it.
Naughty.
Yeah, so people kind of like didn't really play it or boycotted it or whatever it was. It kind of didn't do so well sales wise. So I picked it up and I put it in, and I think I just got distracted. I think I got it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I got just distracted by another game that I wanted to play, and just left it on the shelf for a while. And I've been doing a little bit of platinum hunting. So my very first platinum was the Spider-Man from 2018. And I decided that I was going to wrap up as we're getting to the end of this generation, go through my backlog, complete some games. And while I was at it, I was like, I'm pretty close to getting Platinum in Ghost, so I'm going to do that. So Platinum Ghost. Then I had a little look through and I was like, oh, Horizon, I'm pretty close to Platinum that one. So I went in, Platinum that one, and then did the same thing for Assassin's Creed Origins. Platinum that one. And now I was looking at Watch Dogs Platinum list. I was like, that seems pretty easy. I'll give that one a go, but I was a bit concerned that some of the platinums are tied around online stuff, which really winds me off. I just wish the developers would like maybe make a separate trophy list for online achievements, because it stops you from getting platinums if the online service isn't there anymore. But it seems like Watch Dogs is still very much alive and kicking, because I've been pretty much every time I've played it, somebody's invaded me online and tried hacking me. So I think I'll be able to get the platinum on that. If you've not played Watch Dogs, it's a little bit like a GTA with hacking. So you're in it's not San Francisco, or is it No, you're in Chicago. So we're in Chicago, and you play as Aiden Pierce. He's a little hacker. And something goes down with his family and everything else. It's kind of the story of like what happened, how it happened, and all that kind of stuff. But the main mechanic is that you have this phone that can hack into cameras and computers and stuff, and you can siphon money out of people's bank accounts and like make bridges go up or down and stuff to like trap enemies or stop them from chasing you and stuff, which is pretty cool. So I've been playing that, and then
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing at the minute. Oh, and I played a little bit of Among Us as well. On my phone when I'm at work. Not like when I'm working, but like when I'm going to break or something. Like I'll just whip out a game and see how it's going.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. What is?
Dope.
Dope. Dope.
Oh my god, I love that.
Oh, you're
That was awesome.
welcome. Let's move on to a little bit of reader mail, and we actually have some this week, which is lovely. So I'm going to go over to our old Instagram account and say thanks to a massive thanks to Paul S. I'm not going to take out his last name because, you know, if anyone wants to give him grief or something, no, just Paul S. He wrote to us and said, "Hi, I just want to say I'm really enjoying your podcast. Somebody online recommended it to me and you're firmly in my iPhone podcast library. As far as I remember, I don't think I've heard any of you talk about playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Have none of you honestly dabbled in during this lockdown?" Paul. So we had a little bit of chat about this in our little Discord. Just thanks for getting in touch. It's really great to know that people are enjoying it. Like, send us more stuff like that, any ideas or whatever. And I wrote back to it and I said, you know what, maybe we should talk about Animal Crossing. Does any of you play it? Does anyone have it?
I have it, but I haven't played it in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of stopped.
I can't handle the graphics of Animal Crossing. I've never been able to get into it the way the characters look. And I'm sure it's a great game. I have some friends that really enjoy it, but it was an immediate turn-off for me, so I just couldn't get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit sort of like too farmy for me. So, like, ever since I was a kid, I used games to escape and see a different story and learn about a different world. Like, they're wonderful games and they're great stress relief for a lots of people that play them. A lot of my friends play Animal Crossing and like, oh my god, it's just so mellow and chill. I love it. And I'm like, just farming stuff is not for me. Like, I want to go on an adventure. Like, take me on an adventure. Please, we're in lockdown 2 now. Take me on an adventure. Get me the fuck out of here.
See,
Like I do chores in real life. I don't want to do it in game too.
yeah. I really like the escapism of Animal Crossing, but you know, I'm in the same boat as Sif here. Like, I bought it just before we went into lockdown. I thought it was going to be a great game to play. It's on the Switch. Like, you know, it's set on a desert island. Nobody's going on a fucking holiday this year, so I might as well like set my life up on a little island and live vicariously through this little Animal Crossing version of me. And I played it every day, like for an hour or so. Like, it's not one of those games where you sit down and you play it for hours and hours and hours, like consistently in one sitting. It's like you just drop in, do a little bit of weeding, like dig up some fossils, like upgrade your little settlement and stuff, and do some chores and bits and bobs, and then just drop out. I think it's more like the long-term stuff of getting like your blueprints and stuff to make more furniture and like upgrade your house, and design your island. That's kind of like the end goal. And they do loads of really cool seasonal stuff. So like they did a big Easter thing, they did a big summer thing where they added in like swimming and stuff and diving. They've just done a big Halloween thing, and obviously there's going to be a huge Christmas thing with like snow and Santa and all the rest of it, I'd imagine. But I'm pretty sure that if I went back to my island now, all of my islanders would be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like,
Or just leaving.
The
Fine.
game's got a way to be able to make like your own custom clothing or something.
yeah.
See, that's a pretty neat feature, I think, being able to make like your own in-game like stuff to wear.
Yeah.
And tiles. You can also make like the tiles for your island. So if you want a spooky island, you can just try to make. I don't know. I'm not an artist, so I don't
Yeah.
don't fucking know how they do it. But
Yeah, so you can make like individual tiles that you can place on the ground, so you can put different patterns and bits and bobs
That's
on there.
cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. It's not one of those games where you don't play it for a story and you don't play it for I can't think of the words to say. You play it for a little bit of escapism, like just to kind of go off and just have a chill, and it's really good for that. I really enjoy it for that part. And I think what I might do is, I'm probably not going to get into it anytime soon, but like in the new year, I might just like restart my save file and just do a full year run through where I just drop in every few days and play it. I just kind of feel like I'm so behind now, like I'm never going to be able to recover.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people have dates in Animal Crossing. They've had dates because of the
Yeah.
lockdown. They've had
There's, well,
What,
there's,
really?
yeah,
yeah, they like do like
Not
little
those kinds of date sticks.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's lovely. No, we'll forget about the pre-show conversation.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's really lovely. And did they? And like, are they like? Is there any romances come out of it? Oh, I'm such a sucker for this shit.
I think I've only seen one that
Yeah.
was successful. But,
I'd seen a lot of people online that like maybe they lived in different cities and they're gamers, like they're already in an established relationship, and obviously they can't see each other. So to spend time together, they'd go into their island and like plant things and like make furniture and design the houses and stuff, just to have something to do to spend time together, which wasn't like blowing shit up in Call of Duty or whatever it is that usual multiplayer is about.
That just made my heart melt a little bit.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Lovely.
it's cute. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, Paul S, that's our experience of Animal Crossing. Yeah, maybe we shall get back into it, and maybe we should do me and you, Sif, should do a stream one night where we go and see the state of our islands.
I know that.
Oh, can you please do it and put it on the channel and let
Yeah.
me know, because I want to see how absolutely
Dude.
awful they become.
Tom,
See mine.
yeah. Tom Nook's gonna be like, "Bitch, where my fucking money for that loan? Like, where my money?"
It's been 5 months.
Fucking sending the bailiffs round to my virtual home, like, where the money?
Give me the money.
Yeah, so as always, you can write into us, drop us some messages on Twitter or Instagram, or you can email us gamersassemble@gmail.com. Send us in your comments, your ideas for shows, anything like that, and we'll always give them a read out and chat about them, because we love that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I think that brings us to the end. Another show where we've managed to keep it in a very very close, small time frame. 1 hour and 10 minutes. That's not bad, is it?
That's good.
Yeah, we did
Yep.
we did well there. We'll be back. Probably next Sunday.
I'm there.
Might do some more bits and bobs in the week now that us British folk are all locked down again. So we might do some little game streams and stuff weeknights. Try and get some more stuff going on. But until then, you can head over to Twitter at Gaymers Assemble, or on Instagram, same user tag. And always find us on Spotify and YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hit the notifications and everything else. But until next time, I have been the Bearded Gamer. Please say good night,
Good night, everybody.
or good afternoon in your case. Sif.
Buenas noches.
Yeah. Tick.
Good night, Abu. Sorry, I always make
classic-
it a bit uncomfortable.
A classic frightening end to the stream. And as always, I have been the Bearded Gamer. Thank you very much. Thanks, Just Another Blue. Thanks for dropping by. Don't worry about arriving late. Next time, please set an alarm, because, lateness is not acceptable. No, I'm joking. Make sure you check out on Twitter, and you'll know when we're going live next time. Or hit that little follow, little love heart, little bell.
Follow us.
And we'll
Follow
see you
us.
next time. Bye!
Bye. Peace.